I am Christine Saulnier, and I'm running to be the federal NDP candidate for Halifax. I am running because I want to make a difference. I have been so inspired by the strong progressive MPs who represented this riding for many years. Megan Leslie most recently, but Alexa McDonough. Alexa, trailblazer, not just for our city, our province, but our country. Yeah. I want to continue that strong tradition. Women who aren't afraid to speak up on behalf of people in our community and to speak truth to power. I have spent the last 15 years writing research reports, studying the problems, and proposing solutions. I've been waiting for elected officials to have the political courage to do things differently. I'm frustrated at the lack of positive change. People are clearly struggling to access the public health care they need. Yes, our provincial government should be held account for many of the problems in the system. But our federal government has the tools and the revenue to help, and it has not done enough. People are a couple of paychecks or a health crisis away from losing their home. I want to tell you a story about a family in our community who faced these difficult choices. When we did focus groups around the living wage, we had focus groups with low-wage workers in our community. One of the low-wage workers shared how she saves her glucose test strips for her husband, who has worse diabetes than her, because they cannot afford to buy as many as they would need. This worker is an early childhood educator, highly qualified, with the skills to provide vital childcare and early learning opportunities in our community to our children, working in her field for 20 years and making $16 per hour. When her husband had a heart attack and could not go back to work, they had to declare bankruptcy and they lost their home. This story is not unique. This is happening in our community every day. We need an MP who will be Halifax's champion in Ottawa and not just Ottawa's guy in Halifax. I've lived in the city for 15 years. I've raised 3 kids in the beautiful north end of Halifax. I love this city. I know, however, that we can and we must do more to build a community that truly is stronger, is healthier, and is more inclusive. The Liberal government, it didn't even reverse Harper's cuts to healthcare. Poverty rates have remained high. Families still can't get childcare that they need. Where is the affordable housing that so many in our community need? The demand for emergency shelter has increased. There remain people living in the street, couch surfing, being turned away from our shelters because they are full. Food bank usage continues to grow. One of my top priorities is to ensure that people are able to access the health care they need. People also deserve a real safety net for when they are sick and when they cannot work. Too many are falling through the cracks. Families need more support to raise children in our community. Students deserve to graduate from college and university without the huge debt load. People need decent jobs, and this must be a priority as part of a plan to urgently address climate change. I am running because I have tremendous respect for the role that an elected official can play. I know what needs to happen. I know we can do better, and we must. We live in a federation where not everyone has access to the same level of public services and public infrastructure. Our federal government has become like a granting agency. It requires us to come up with matching funds, including increasingly from the private sector. Healthcare funding is now tied to economic growth. This formula doesn't recognize that there are pressures on our healthcare system here because of our aging population, our rural population, and the higher rates of chronic health conditions. We must get at the root causes of climate change, such as income inequality, and address the gender, race, and class inequalities that are the results of systems and structures that have valued certain people and profit over our planet.
Hear, hear.